Right, y'all. Day 34. Bringing this plane slowly but surely down and down further, descending till we land on October the 3rd, where I break my fast. And once again, this has been an enlightening and an amazing journey on all levels, both spiritual, physical, prayerfully, business-wise, a few epiphanies, along the way, breakthroughs just before the fast, which was amazing, with the fulvic acid, the black magic, and then the muscle ups, which still is a phenomenal feat for me physically at this age in the game. So fasting is something that is, it's been around forever, okay, going back to the beginning of time. And this is my 10th year of my 4-day juice fast. And it's day 34. And as I've said in the past, proving by example, after doing, many, many hours of research over the years, and then applying that science, and then getting this anti-aging, result where, I'm looking younger, feeling younger, performing like a young person. These are all the benefits that come, as a result of doing these short sabbaticals. And even 40 days is a short sabbatical out of 40 to 50 years of life. What is 40 days? Oftentimes we go on a 4-day period, we can't even remember what happened 40 days in a row, unless it was something traumatic. But if we look back through the year, 40 days, we couldn't really place where we were, what we were doing, This is something, though, that, when you put it on film, you get to kind of chronicle what you're doing. Then, you kind of see it for what it is. And so as I'm looking back over the videos, and this is going to be another one that I'm going to catalog and put it on my YouTube channel, Coach Troy Monroe. I'm speaking truth to myself, just reiterating the information and the download in my mind about what I have found, which is part of the Fountain of Youth lifestyle. Fountain of Youth lifestyle for me is superfoods. Fountain of Life for me is raw juicing. Fountain of Life for me is raw smoothies. Fountain of Life for me is raw fruits, raw vegetables. Fountain of Life for me is superfood tea. Fountain of Life for me is alkaline water. Okay. Fountain of Life for me on the fitness side, resistance training. Fountain of Life for me on the exercise side, HIIT training. Fountain of Life for me is rebounding. Fountain of Life for me is yoga. So those are my go-to techniques in order to maintain a stellar health, immunity, energy, youthfulness, complete anti-aging profile. Okay, is it easy? Yeah, once you do it long enough, it is. Hard to start, yeah, because everyone's doing pretty much opposite of what I'm doing. Okay, but when it comes to disciplining yourself and making it a lifestyle, then it becomes like second nature. So I don't miss some of the bad things I used to do to my body when I was younger, because now after 30 years of practicing, I don't have to even think about it to do it, okay? And there was a point I brought up yesterday, and there's a video out there you might want to check out for those of you who are entrepreneurs, as you're doing your self-development. This video was called Choose Your Hard. And although it was talking about, it's directed at entrepreneurs in terms of how you make money, it's also directed in just life itself. You have to choose your hard. Is it harder to be healthy or harder to be sick? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of effort on your part to become consistent in doing the very best for your body so you can have the best outcome, right? The best outcome. But once you do it, that hard becomes easy, because it's harder to walk around obese. It's harder to walk around constipated. It's hard walking around with low energy. That's hard. And that's not just one ailment. You got multiple stuff going on. Okay, so when we talk about, is it hard to be healthy? Nah, not when you look at the benefits of just getting past, how you've been conditioned, right? So that's what I've done. I've gotten past all the miasma of what most people are doing and most people settle for, and then they end up suffering for it. I'm not there. I've already graduated past that, and so now I'm in this boon of health, and I'm just wondering, where's the cutoff at? I know I have like at least 17 years of life force left, and beyond that, because I showed you guys a 70-year-old brother from Jamaica who is killing the game doing muscle ups, and that's what inspired me to get back in the game after 5 years. And once I saw I could do it, after watching him do it, and I'm still growing in it, that means what? There's still 70 more. There's not 70 more, but there are at least 17 more years of this kind of anti-aging experience to immerse myself in and prepare myself for. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing. It's possible, but you got to step into that window. You got to make that choice. You got to do your own research and science, and then apply that science, natural science. I'm not talking about medical science. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the natural science. Okay, plant-based pharmacology, herbal science. That's what I'm talking about. You have to apply that to your experience. And then once you start getting on the road, then you start saying, oh, okay, now I see what he's talking about, right? So does fasting work? Yes, it does. Here are a few points on that. And I'm going to jump to food or poison. What does fasting do? It gives the organs a complete rest, okay? It promotes elimination of metabolic waste. Okay, you don't want to have too much metabolic waste stored up in your system, only enough that your body can handle. But if it's an over amount of a metabolic waste in your body, then it's going to back up into your tissue and into your fat cells, and it's going to become problematic to where you're going to have some kind of breakdown or disease. Fasting allows the body to adjust and normalize its biochemistry and also its secretions. Okay, so you need to be bioactively absorbing and translating that nutrients into living tissue or healthy tissue, healthy organs, healthy bones, and healthy muscle. Okay, and then you need to also have proper secretions, meaning eliminations. Everything should be working at an optimal level so that there's this balance. So then what happens in life is there's this not this which most of us are dealing with in it. When we're going through the course of a day, we hitting all these bumps and roads and stuff, and we're not feeling like we should, right? Well, fasting normalizes all that. Okay, also it lets the body break down and absorb swellings, deposits, diseased tissue, and abnormal growth. So while I'm on this fast, I'm having this high active biochemistry metabolism that is helping me to literally, again, push out the waste, any diseased tissue, and abnormal growths. All those things are being swept away. It's amazing with just a little, sabbatical from eating does, and you're seeing it right now, and you can see it because most people say, man, like, woo, you're glowing, bro. You're like, whoa, and it's true. You start to glow. You start to see that soul glow from the inner to the outer man. It restores a youthful condition. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, this is what fasting does. It takes away those wrinkles, gives you elasticity of skin. Okay, and so now when you're working out, you start to see it in your muscles and everything. Okay, it's not necessary for me to take off my shirt and see all that. You can obviously see that I obviously have a strong build. Okay, that all comes a part of, again, the juice fasting with fitness. Okay, with fitness, not without it. Okay, you got to have that fitness side in order for your body to really, really experience the power of nutrition. You got to drive that nutrition through exercise to the tissue, to the muscle, to the bone, and that's when you start to begin to radiate from the inner to the outer man. It's powerful. Okay, increases the powers of digestion and assimilation. Okay, so we just talked about that. And then lastly, it permits a conservation and a rerouting of energy. It clears and strengthens the mind. Okay, so that's that spiritual side. Clears and strengthens the mind. Greater access to the divine. The third eye opens up even more through a fast. For those of you guys who understand what the third eye is, the pineal gland. Okay, so the pineal gland is being is definitely being detoxed. So you get a higher vibration to be able to not only pray, have a better connection to things to pray about, but you see things around you more clearly. Okay, in an esoteric sense, spiritually, you are more aware. Okay, and you are more sound. Okay, and there's like this calmness around you. Okay, it's almost like you are you have your premonition about things is heightened during a fast. Okay, so we know it works. Okay, fasting is in short good for the human body, and we all need to take some time to do that if you really want to get a natural experience of how to detox, rather than using drugs or pills or potions and things like that. Just go on a juice fast and you'll be amazed. Also, if you guys are interested in a free fat juicing book, I have the giant juicing book. It was on a PDF. I got it a while back. If that's something that interests you, let me know. If you guys are interested in getting on superfoods, and of course, the one that I am definitely advocating as something that every household should have, and that is the Black Magic fulvic acid, okay, and the black seed oil. Look at that, 2 blacks. Black Magic, black seed oil, okay. Both of these two are what I recommend for long-term health here on out. Okay, when you start realizing this is the cousin of CBD without the THC, which is black seed. Okay, and the fulvic acid, it makes sure that you get your aminos and your minerals, and it makes the nutrients like this work better in your body along with the other superfoods. So you guys want to know why I'm experiencing what I call the Spider-Man effect, the fulvic acid effect, is because of these simple little drops. That's all they are. It's not a lot. You think your body needs a lot? Okay, what it needs is potency. In this is potency. Should be in every fruit and vegetable that you consume, but it's not, because of these corrupt agricultural practices and big pharma, big agribiz. They take things like this, they don't even allow it to even be experienced in the soil because of the just overcropping, the pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides that they're trying to use to just make fruits and vegetables grow so fast like they do with animals. Putting all these hormones so these animals can grow big. For what? Kill them so they can feed you the crappy food. You see what I'm saying? So these are why a lot of times we don't even realize what's going on, but that's the reason why most of us are fat, sick, and nearly dead. Okay? And that's Joe Cross in his amazing documentary. He went on a 60-day juice fast, lost all this weight, and he did a documentary on it, and he called it Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Okay, and so you want to get out of sick care, you want to get out of disease care, you want to get out of a tradition of accepting being elderly versus welderly, or looking at mom and dad and their diseases. Now you getting the same disease. You want to get out of that. Step into this window. Step into the window of superfoods. Step into the window of juice fasting. Step into the window of superfood tea, superfood coffee. Okay, superfoods in general, man. Alkaline water, because that is where it's at. And the reason why this stuff is so powerful, because what it does is it creates in your mind, when your cells are satiated, you're not thinking about food like everybody else is, because you're satiated. Okay, you can think about other stuff now. Stop being worried about being hungry. Hunger means energy. Okay, this brings me right back to now what's happening on the kitchen table in your kitchen. And I'm gonna ask you this question: are you eating food or poison? That's the question tonight. Are you eating food or are you eating poison? Okay. Again, are you eating food or are you eating poison? Now, how do you determine which is which? Okay. All right. I'm not saying this to put you down, nothing like that. I'm just bringing you to science. Okay. I'm gonna bring you to science. Okay, as a practical authority in the game. Okay. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna tell you the truth, just like Dr. Sebi would. Dr. Sebi was telling y'all the truth. Okay, when he said certain things, y'all were like shocked, like, oh man, really? Yeah. Okay. Virus is a mucus. Okay, that's what it is. It's a mucus. It's not something you should be running from, and it's something that you create by your lifestyle. Okay, you don't catch sickness. You create it. Okay, that's a hard thing to tell someone, but yeah, because you not feeding your body the right food fuel tools. Just like if you gave me a hammer to cut or open a watermelon. Yeah, I can open the watermelon up, but it's gonna be messy. You see what I'm saying? So you're giving me a tool for a job that doesn't work, efficiently. Okay, you giving me a hammer to open a watermelon, like giving me a knife to nail a nail into a wall. Wrong. I could do it, but it's not gonna come out right. Right. So that's what you're doing. You're giving your body things that it's like saying, okay, I can take it in, but it's not gonna give you the outcome that you were looking for in terms of efficient, healthy synthesis of energy, nutrition, water, hydration. There's gonna be some problems along the way if you give me that to eat. Okay, that's how your body treats it. And then the side effect is your sickness, your headache, your back pain, your constipation, your GERD, your nausea. See what I'm saying? That's what happens when you give your body food fuel tools that it cannot use. It can use it, but it's not going to use it to the way in which you think. Okay, you're not going to be comfortable with that which you gave it. Okay, it's intelligent, so you got to give it, the intelligent type of nutrients, so it can do its intelligent thing that it does by making it turn into nutrition again, oxygen, energy, hydration. Okay, it's that simple. All right, so let's get into it. I gave this out before I sent this out in the past. It's called the 10 foods that cause the 10 foods that cause inflammation, bloating, and sickness. Okay, that's something that I'm gonna attach in the comments below for you guys. Okay, and I read I'm coming back from what I talked about yesterday a little bit on day 33 about the Hippocratic Oath and the Hippocratic Principle, meaning that let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. So food should be medicine. And then I brought in the scripture text that said, not only should food be your medicine, but the Bible says in Revelation chapter 22, verse 10, which backs up what Hippocrates said, because it's not bringing anything new into the world. It was a law among the nations that understood plant-based nutrition, okay? And in the scripture it says, the leaves are for the healing of the nation, just like Hippocrates says, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, okay? So, and it says here, this off-quoted phrase, spoken by Hippocrates in 400 BC, has never been more relevant. There's an increasing reliance. Now, here's what happened. Okay, it used to be that we relied on plants for nutrients. Now and for healing, we don't do that anymore. There has been an increasing reliance on prescription drugs to treat any ailment, both mental and physical, as opposed to plant-based therapies, which is really older than the medical community as a whole. But because of advertising and the new industrial revolutionized technology that we have, where now you can be influence through the media. Your mind's been warped and changed. You didn't grow up in this. None of y'all, and even myself, we didn't grow up in this. You only, if you did because you were around people that a certain sect of people who were actually teaching this stuff. But most of us, we didn't grow up around this. We grew up into trusting prescription drugs for any treatment and ailment. Okay, mental and physical. Okay, so Hippocrates' application was start dying out in the 40s and 50s. Was gone by the 70s and 80s. It was like, yeah, we ain't even dealing with that no more. We all into drugs and prescriptions and all that for our healing. Okay, and this is the problem. It says, and with the CDC reporting that nearly 50% of Americans use at least one prescription drug. I ask you a question. You got any drugs that you're using at home? Look in your medicine cabinet. And look, your houses are built based on this principle when we get into the bathroom section. Your bathroom is built with what? A shower, a toilet, a sink, and a medicine cabinet. It's not a wellness cabinet. It's a medicine cabinet. It's already in the architecture. Okay, in the building blueprint. So you already socialized even from the blueprint of any house, apartment. I don't care what it is. Every bathroom is going to have, most likely, a medicine cabinet. Again, because of how we've been socialized. And again, here we are. The CDC itself says 50% of Americans use at least one prescription drug. It's very rare that you have a household where someone is not using a prescription drug. Now, that would be me. I don't have prescription drugs. I am the exception to the rule. Okay? Why? Because, again, how I've been taught over the last 30 years to trust the science of nature as opposed to the science of drugs from the medical community. Okay? There's a place for that, but not in the healing aspect. Okay? Think about that. It's clear that food is not the medicine Hippocrates hoped for. And it ain't the medicine that the Creator tried to give us. The devil done came in and changed the direction of how we do things. Okay? It says a high diet of refined sugars, guys. And this is the problem. You know, the way we've eaten has made us we've subjected ourselves through horrible diets to a drug and medicine practice when it comes to healing. All right, again, socialize. A diet high in refined sugars leads to type 2 diabetes. Well, what you gonna do for diabetes, right? You don't take insulin, right? And often reliance on insulin injections, right? Again, going back, have a poor diet leads to blood sugar issues. Often also needed to take blood pressure regulating medication, right? Who you know on blood pressure medication? I've got people here that I train on that, okay? The frequent use of vegetable oils and trans fats leads to heart disease and a reliance on what? Statin drugs, which lowers high cholesterol levels, supposedly, right? But what about all the side effects that come along with it? And look at every drug commercial that comes on, all beautiful, and you got this serene background, dog running, children playing, and they're playing all this beautiful music, talking about what this drug gonna do for you, and then they're gonna tell you, well, at the end, this drug, might cause a heart attack, might cause insomnia, might cause suicidal thoughts, and that's what they telling you straight up what it's gonna do to you. Okay, don't take this if you're doing this, and don't take that if you're doing that. See your physician. There's not enough testing on these drugs long term to even tell what the long term effects are going to be. But again, when you don't have any other outlet, but what the media tells you, that's what you follow, and you stay in this merry-go-round of getting sick and getting better, getting sick and getting better. Okay, and that getting better part is just because the drug is just giving you temporary relief. You don't want temporary relief. The scripture says healing. The leaves are for the healing. Let food be thy medicine. Okay? These are just a few examples of how the food many Americans are eating is not medicine. It's poison. How do we know? How do we know it's poison? Okay? All right. So here's the deal. Modern day research sheds a light on just how food is best for medicine. Studies show that poor dietary choices are the cause of chronic inflammation. So here we go, okay? Your food is either giving you medicine or your food that you're consuming is causing chronic inflammation. If it's causing chronic inflammation, then that is a food that is considered a poison to the body and not really a medicine. See, that's how you simply figure it out, all right? And then among the most common conditions to be treated with drugs, again, we talked about the asthma, the diabetes, arthritis, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, okay? Where does it all come from? Poor dietary choices, all right? So yeah, when you're fasting on a juice fast, you're not choosing poor dietary choices, and this is the look that you're gonna have, you know, in your world. You're gonna look and feel better, like you're on top of the world. Why? Because it's a micronutrient diet, temporary diet, that's bypassing digestion, getting the nutrients directly to the cell. Boom. Okay. All right. So let's go on with this. I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to definitely finish this day 34 live, because these lives are going to be going on my my Facebook page, Coach Troy Monroe. I already have all the videos downloaded. I'm starting to upload them now because it's a lot of work. But that's going to be definitely a blessing for anyone who is looking to take their health to the next level. And again, you don't have to do a 40-day juice fast. You can do a 10-day, 21-day, a 7-day, okay? And still start reaping these benefits from just getting the micronutrients to the cells and boosting your own immune system naturally, okay? This is what this is, okay? This is juice fasting is a form of alchemy in wellness, okay? And you look up that word alchemy. It's an ancient form of a practice that's no longer used today in socially accepted arenas of health, okay? Fasting is one of those. It is a form of alchemy, okay? That sounds like a dark word, but it really isn't. All right, let's get into it now. I'm gonna try to find this. Just had it here. Make me go over this again. Da 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 da. Okay, I'm about to go to history here. Okay, here we go. Not yet. Here we go. It was in a different. All right. So here we go. All right. Again, your food is a medicine when it promotes an anti-inflammatory response in the body. That's how you know your food is a medicine. Okay, that means it's giving you the nourishment, it's giving you the energy, it's giving you the hydration, it's giving you the minerals and vitamins. All right, it's not giving you any form of obstruction. Anything that obstructs or causes a toxic ash, meaning an acid ash in the body, meaning that you're eating foods that are 6.0 and below constantly, even down to 5.0, 3.0 acidity, that's going to end up affecting you on the organ and tissue level, causing inflammation. So here are the 10 foods that cause chronic inflammation, trigger pain, fatigue, and bloating. And I always ask this question: are you someone that is right now experiencing any type of inflammation, pain, fatigue, or bloating? Okay, even obesity. All right, here they are: dairy, wheat, GMO corn, refined sugar, fried foods, red meat. I'll say it again. These are the foods that cause inflammation: dairy, wheat, GMO corn, fried foods, red meat, refined sugar. I'll say it again. What are the foods that cause? And these are the poisons now in food form: dairy, wheat, commercial wheat, okay, GMO corn, refined sugar, fried foods, and red meat. And now most of, not all of these are affected by genetically modified engineering. Okay, that means it is not given to you in its pure form, in its original form. It's been altered. The DNA or the molecular structure has been altered, so your body isn't even getting this type of food the way it should be given to us or was given to us 20, 30 years ago. Most of the foods now are being genetically modified. Okay, and so that is a huge problem. Okay, and I'm going to read the first portion of this. It says inflammation is at the root of most diseases, and diet is largely what causes it. What kind of diet? Poor diet. If you are one to consume the standard American diet, we call it the standard American diet. The acronym for the standard American diet is the SAD diet. Okay, or even a vegan, for that matter. Don't matter whether you're vegan or non-vegan. You can still be eating foods that are fried. They don't have to necessarily be meat. They can still be refined sugar, corn, okay, wheat, okay, that have been altered. All right. If you are one to consume these things, you are likely consuming these foods that cause inflammation and weight gain. Okay. It's a hard pill to swallow, y'all, but this is real. Inflammation isn't always bad. Okay. Now there's a good side of inflammation, right? If I drop this on my hand from high, okay, that just hurt it right there. That really hurt just doing that. But if I dropped it on my hand, okay, it's gonna injure that part of my hand, and it's gonna start to swell. Well, why is it swelling? Because that part was injured, and the swelling naturally takes place so that the healing can take place now that it's been slightly injured. Okay, that's a natural form of inflammation. So inflammation isn't bad. Our bodies naturally inflame when the body is injured or ill, right? This may manifest as swelling, redness, heat, as well as pain and discomfort, like when you stub your toe, just like I gave you that example, right? So there is a positive side of inflammation, and you need that kind of inflammatory response in a situation where you get in an accident. That's what it's for the body to heal when you've been injured. It is a normal, effective response, all right? Now, unfortunately, okay, here's the bad part about inflammation. Unfortunately, chronic inflammation is a different story and is largely caused by diet, poor diet, stress, lack of exercise, smoking, pollution, lack of sleep. Are you doing any of these? Do you have a poor diet? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? Are you even exercising? Okay? Are you smoking? Are you living around a lot of pollution? Do you get enough sleep? Okay? Because these are the telltale signs. It can be seen in those with leaky gut syndrome, arthritis, fibromyalgia, celiac disease, irritable bowel disease. All have their base in inflammation. It can also play a part in asthma, diabetes, where the body is continuously trying to heal tissue but fails. Okay. As for weight gain and its connection to inflammation, inflammation makes our weight control hormone leptin to be less effective. Okay, which therefore causes weight gain. That's why HIIT training is so amazing, because once your H3H is released, it uses a hormone called lipase to use fat as fuel. Beautiful thing. Okay, again, that's an anti-aging technique of fitness. So thus the two go hand in hand with inflammation and obesity. Okay, and so the 10 foods: refined sugar, and I'm gonna do a part 3 on this because I don't want this to be long. But refined sugar, vegetable oil. Okay, problem with vegetable oil: too much omega-6. Okay, look that up. All right, dairy products. All right, naturally inflammatory problems with that. Wheat, rye, and barley. Why? Gluten. Look up the dangers of eating too much gluten. All right. That's why, in a lot of circles now in the wellness community, we're talking about ancient grains, quinoa, aromath, okay? Things like that. So you need to stay away from foods that have gluten in them because they cause a mucus. This is what Dr. Sebi was talking about, okay? Fried foods. Okay, fried foods, guys. Like the worst thing you can put in your body is fried foods on a daily basis. Not every so often, maybe once a week. But fried foods, man. If you've been eating fried foods all your life and you're looking at yourself in the mirror wondering why you got all these wrinkles, look. Ages, advanced glycation in products. Man, this is like the worst, one of the worst types of conditions or responses that you can consume, okay, that cause high levels of inflammation, is any food source that are advanced glycation in products, okay, and that is too much cooking of the food in high temperatures, and you don't have to eat it necessarily hot. It can be on the shelf and packaged, so for shelf life, if it's been highly cooked, like a lot of your shelf juices, okay, ocean spray, ain't nothing ocean about it, man, okay? That stuff been boiled down, ain't no nutrients in that stuff at all, okay? Anything that's been pasteurized, that's been boiled, okay? Again, another advanced glycation in product, okay? So that's on that. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. Refined flour, okay? Red meat, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. It is what it is, okay? Processed corn, okay? Artificial chemicals and additives. And number 10, trans fats, okay? So what you need to do, okay, and these are foods, again, if you're eating these foods, you're not giving your body medicine. You're giving your body a poison, okay? And a poison, anything in the body that anything that causes you put poison in the body, there's going to be an inflammatory response created, okay? And again, that's why Dr. Lorraine Day, who healed herself of cancer, says you create diabetes, you create cancer, you create heart disease, okay? You create irritable bowel syndrome, right? You create fibromyalgia by your diet, whether you understand that you're doing it or not. It's a law, okay? There is a dietary law. If you break that law, you're going to suffer, whether you know it or not. It is a law. Just like if I put you in a refrigerator that has no oxygen, the law says you need oxygen to breathe. And if I take away that oxygen, you're going down, okay? So this is what's happening with food. We're putting food that has no oxygen in our bodies. When you cook food, you destroy the oxygen level in that food. Okay, you get oxygen two ways. You get it through the air you breathe and the food you eat. Okay, if you have low oxygenated food or no oxygenated food, well, guess what? You're robbing yourselves of life. You're robbing yourself of life. Okay, so that's why I was talking about in the beginning. When we talk about fasting, fasting produces life. It extends life. It literally puts you in a state of incubation where you're not even aging anymore. It suspends you in suspended animation. That's why I've been telling people I'm like at forever 30 right now. I got a 30-year-old son, right? Just look on my I just posted a picture of him. He tuned himself, but I have another shot of him on my story, him dancing, and I have me dancing because we obviously father like son. This boy is just amazing me right now. He's dancing and I'm dancing after him, and it's like we're just kind of like doing the same thing, you know. And I'm just kind of marveling at him. I posted today, you know, how I am proud of him and I'm admiring him for what he's doing. That's right, Landy. Water fasting is God's true healing gift, you know, and that's how I started. I started fasting with Paul C. Bragg. Paul C. Bragg was like one of the fathers of modern day fasting. He wrote the book, The Miracle of Fasting, and that's what got me on the road to fasting. You know, that book is just amazing. In fact, Paul C. Bragg has a video, and I'll send you this. This brother did a video in the 1960s, okay, black and white. It's on YouTube. And I was listening to this video, and it's talking about everything we talk about at HBN, right? Everything we talk about is just from some of the words he used are a little more archaic. You know, we don't use the same verbiage today that he used then, but what he was talking about was the same things that we talk about. And the thing about it was, I'm like, man, if the medical community had followed this man's words, back then in the 1960s, okay, because this guy was an influence to especially the Hollywood scene. You know, he was like a health guru to the stars. But if they had have listened to this man back then, the healthcare crisis in America, the disease care system that we have today would not exist at all, okay? Because that brother was prophesying, okay? He was prophesying. But yeah, so that's I thank God for Paul C. Bragg, because had it not been for him, shoot, I would not be here right now. You know, I learned about juice fasting along the way, and I started to incorporate that in my journeys throughout the last 10 years. So this is my 10th year here. But this brings that last comment is going to bring this live to a close, guys. Like I said before, I'm going to post the article in the comments after I finish up here. And as I said before, the thing that has impacted me the most in this year of 2022, this will be my 53rd year, because my birthday will be on the eve of my last day of the juice fast, which is October 3rd. I always start on the 24th and I end on the 2nd, and I break my fast on October 3rd is my birthday. It's a complete renewal, 40-day juice fast renewal, okay, of the body. And I told Marcus, it was funny, Landy, I was telling Marcus that during the whole fast, I didn't even use my juicer. I've been using all HBN superfoods. I've been using Body, and I've been using Soul. I've been using Nova. When I mix it with my super greens, okay, all superfood juice blends, all superfood juice formulas. That's it. And I just feel like on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? And I just like, it's continually changing my psyche about what's really in food today. You know what I'm saying? It's like now, even with the vegan food that I was eating, you know, and have been eating for years, and I'm trying to get the very best, but even that, it just does not compare to superfoods. Superfoods are foods in micronutrient form that bypass direct digestion and get directly to the cell, so that we're fed, energized, hydrated, okay, remineralized, revitaminized, okay, and you add the fulvic acid in there. Look, you're just on a whole nother level. So that's why I said you guys got to start researching about the things that I'm bringing up, you know. And again, I'm that practical authority on the subject. I've studied, researched, then implementing it, and so you can see now an average guy that hasn't gone to all the schools. Yeah, I read what these guys have read, and I'm applying it. And there's most people in the natural, even in the world of naturopathy, that will never ever go down the road of a 40-day juice fast. They're just not doing it, yo. They're not doing it, okay? But that's my discipline. I've taken it to a whole nother level and showing that through this type of fast, you can still exercise. I was out here hitting the weights, you know, hitting shoulders, hitting the bench press. You know, I'm out here today. I did 5 muscle ups at the park. So yeah, you can actually live a normal functioning life doing a superfood juice fast. And no one would ever know unless they ask you, man, when was the last time you ate? Oh, 34 days ago. It's a mind blower. Okay. So that's a breakthrough for me, because this is the first time that I've ever literally just relied solely on superfoods to literally get through a fast. And now I'm like sold on the idea now. That's like a breakthrough for me. So on my 10th year, muscle ups, fulvic acid, superfoods only for the juice fast. That means my juice meals are superfoods. Okay. And what I do is I have my tea, right? I got my superfood tea, and I just dropped the fulvic acid and the superfood in here. And this is all I do. I just drink this all day long, and I have all this energy. Okay, so that's what's doing it, you guys. Anyway, love you to health. Look for the links below. And again, if you guys want to get on any of the superfoods, fulvic acid, black seed oil, the mind, body, and soul I've been talking about, you know what to do. Text me. For those of you guys who have been getting back to me and you have ordered, just be patient. Usually your orders don't take that long to get there, about 3 days, sometimes 4, depending on what part of the country you're in. But I'm glad you guys are seeing the light and getting on board. You know, this is only going to better your health for the long run, okay? Because we were not meant to be sick, guys. The curse of death is sleep, and it's not sickness, it's sleep. So, and it's not inflammation. We're not supposed to be dealing with all that, okay? We bringing that on ourselves because we have been socialized to do something completely different from nature, okay? Animals don't even do what we're doing, all right? And they getting a better outcome of health. We up here dying of all these diseases that we should never be experiencing because we are out of God's divine window of nutrition. That is the problem, okay? So once you get back into that, then you'll start seeing how powerful your body is and how far this puppy will take you in longevity and anti-aging. It's just amazing, okay? Anyway, love you to help. Look for the links. I'll see you on the inside.